Hello again, traders, and welcome out. In this class, we'll be talking about relative strength and particularly taking a look at relative strength over multiple time frames. So this is one of the topics that we talk about a lot at Maverick. We focus on individual relative strength and weakness over time, and we need to pay attention to this on a day-to-day basis, especially as we are traders and we are looking at opportunities on a day-to-day basis. So key concept here, that nothing can be strong or weak until it's compared to something else. So comparing recent performance to determine future performance. And oftentimes, we talk about is something relatively strong or is something relatively weak. So something we have to take a look at across the board and across different time frames, because as we try to trade over multiple time frames, it's important to take a look at relative strength and weakness on multiple time frames as well. So how can we do that? So there's different ways we can do this on a day-to-day basis, where it's a systematic scoring to identify currencies that are moving to enough to justify the risk. So we can look at the percentage return for the day. A lot of times we can just say if something is up 1%, relatively speaking, how everything else is doing. And we get this percentage changes for the entire trading day, as the market closes or the currency market closes at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and it resets, we get that percentage change for the day. So this is a good way to keep track of what's moving, so we can keep track of the strength and weakness over time. We can, of course, take a look at the chart, and we can build a relative strength chart overlaying with other currencies. This is a great way to have a visual instead of just looking at the percentage change. If you're more of a visual person, that's a great way to do it. And lastly, looking at currency baskets. Very importantly, we can do the same thing, build a relative strength chart for the currency basket, or take a look at percentage return on a basket as well. So these baskets are equally weighted currency baskets. So instead of taking a look at individual currency pair, we're looking at how something is doing overall. So for example, we can take a look at how NASDAQ, how the Netflix is doing. But, that's just one stock. If you take a look at how the tech sector is doing, we can take a look at the currency tech ETF. So that's just a way of looking at things from a basket perspective versus taking a look at things from an individual perspective. So as we jump into the charts, we can see there's a lot of information that we get on our screen. On the right hand side, we have again, currency baskets or the currency pairs that you're looking at. And notice that you have a percentage change right next to it. So the easy way to sort things out, and let's just do that on a currency basket just to see what's really moving. Again, it's early in the session here in the Asian market, so we might not see a whole lot moving. But right now, by just looking at this, we can see the Kiwi is actually relatively performing versus the yen, which is the second best performer, followed by Swiss franc. And you can see dollar is actually underperforming, and so is the CAD. So again, this is giving us the information that this is really what's going on in this time period. And of course, as we go into different time frames, we can see that information. This is more relevant on a shorter term basis, but as the time progresses throughout that trading period, again, this percentage change will change. And especially if you're looking at a trade at a certain given time, let's say you're waiting for the US session to enter a trade, we can just look at this information and say, well, this is the pairs that are moving, because that's what will reflect in those currency baskets, and we can actually look at those currency pairs individually. Now, the other way is to build a relative strength graph, which is also comes in handy for visual traders. So as you can see, I've already kind of created this for myself, and I will show you exactly how to do it on your screen as well. But as you can see right now, I have this currency basket chart here. And this is, again, all those currency baskets that we watch. We put it on this this charting here, and we can actually just scroll in and out by quickly scrolling in and out. We actually see what's really moving, what's outperforming versus underperforming. So right now, as I zoom in, I'm able to see, okay, well, this currency pair is doing the best versus the worst. And right now you can see, like right at the bottom here, I have the euro, which actually is picking up here. And as I increase the time frame, I'll be able to kind of go higher time frame to see what's really performing well versus weak. Now on a 4-hour time frame, I can clearly see that the yen is actually really weak. This thing has been weak as across the board. Now what's relatively doing better? Now we can see that this euro actually has done really well compared to the other benchmark. So this is again giving us an indication where movement is. So we can actually just do a quick, we can open a chart again and see what this euro yen is doing. And by quickly looking at that pair, we'll be able to see exactly what that currency, what the currency is doing, or is it the right currency to focus on. And we can see that on a daily chart. We got a nice little breakout taking place over here. So right off the bat, we can spot these movements that are happening, not just on a daily time frame, but a multiple time frame. And remember, the best moves happen when all time frames kind of matches up with each other. So we can go top down analysis. We can see on a daily this is moving, on a 4-hour this is moving, on an hourly this is moving, and even a 15-minute chart you can see where the pullback kind of took place, and then things have kind of turned to the turning up a little bit on the upside. So the trend still stays intact. So these are the ways where we can track things, just like the currency basket relative strength chart we have. Let's just quickly build over here a quick chart on, let's say, all the yen pairs. So you can quickly go in this plus button over here and say, I want to add dollar yen on this. Then you can say I want to have pound yen on this, and so on and so forth. You can quickly add on all the pairs, and then you will have a visual of how the yen cross is doing. So again, you can track it based on the currencies pairs that you're watching, or you can track it based on the currency baskets. They all kind of give you the same information, but this way you can keep track of what's moving on a relative strength basis. So in a quick review, make sure that you're measuring percentage returns for intraday analysis, especially if you're looking for trades that's shorter term, or you're trying to find the best time to enter a trade. Is that currency is actually performing well, or is it the right time to enter? Build a chart that's overlaying with other currencies. Again, you can do that on for individual currency pairs, and you can do that on the currency baskets level as well. So make sure you're tracking those currency baskets. And at last, you can also take a look at ATR to measure range and volatility. The smaller the falling ATR, meaning less volatility. The rising ATR means that there's a move happening, there's more volatility. So these are the things that you can kind of put it together and then use it to your advantage. Thanks for joining.